So this video is going to be on how to fix a Whirlpool LER 4634PQ0 model. It's an electric dryer. I'm having an issue with the heating element and maybe the fuse, thermal fuse, and the thermostat. So it's just blowing cold air. I'm gonna take the back part and I already ordered the parts and we'll see if it works. This is gonna be a brief video on how to fix your Whirlpool electric dryer if it's not heating anymore. I'm gonna change the heating element, the thermostat, and the fuse. Won't take very long. First thing we're gonna do is remove this back panel, and when I'm done, I will restart. What happens a lot of time is all this area gets covered in lint, dryer lint, and stuff like that. So you want to clean all that off. And just so you know, the dryer is unplugged. You don't want that thing in. A lot of people say to check your voltage going across, but I've already decided that that's not working. Parts are only about $30 and it doesn't take very long. So I have all the screws out now. That was hand done, so it's not real hard to do, but I'll pull it off in a second. Anyway, see I vacuumed out all the lint and stuff like that. This is actually the part that holds your heating element, your thermostat, and your fuse. So what we're gonna do is replace this. It's not real hard. There's just a couple screws right there and right there. And when I get those out, I will show you what's inside. Quickly, obviously the thermostat is wired up. There's an orange line and a red line. Just remember the orange is on the bottom, red's on the top. Then I gotta get this one off. It's kind of a tough one, but I will get it off. You can see in there's a lot of lint and stuff like that. Probably gonna vacuum some of that out, but this is the part removed. And then I'm gonna take it over and show you, compare you the heating element compared to the new one. Okay, so let me show you what's going on here. Here's the two heating elements next to each other. Obviously there's an issue here. You know, it's an old dryer, probably over 10 years old. These parts only cost about $30, so it's kind of worth it to do it yourself. I'm not a dryer mechanic or anything like that, but I have fixed a couple, some carrier bearings and some belts and stuff like that. It's not too bad to do on your own, so give it a shot. Might as well. It's cheaper than getting a repairman out. But that's it right there. Kind of similar, different but the same, but parts are the same, so they do the same job. So there's the new one in. It took a little bit to get it to set up on that right there. Can you see it? It's plugged in over here. Obviously it's much dirtier, much more worked. Came with a kit, so not real hard to put on, but maybe a little bit of adjustment to get it to sit right. How to light this up. That's the thermal fuse right there. It's obviously not part of this unit that we're gonna put back. But these go bad too. We'll try to check and see. Super easy to do. Pull that screw off right there and pull it right out. It's good or bad. But it's worth changing because it's so simple to do. We're going to pull those electrodes off the back right there and plug them into the new one. And that'll be set up super easy. If you have issues getting it out, there's a little clip right there. You just slide it up away from that, like in this direction, up, and it'll pull right out, and then you'll get it. Easy to keep those electrodes on there just so you remember which one goes to which. I'd be the kind of guy who'd switch them. New one, all plugged in. It just comes in over here. Just line it up, and then it'll just pop in. Hear that pop? And then screw goes back in. All these screws, where it is? There you go. All these screws are the same size. I'm doing this all by hand. I wouldn't use a driver on here. It's just these screws are all like pretty, not the screws, but the metal's all like pot metal, so it'll rip up and stuff like that. Let's screw that back in, and then that's done. Thing right there. Now we're gonna move over to this heating element. I'll have to go grab it. Another reason for using just the hand driver is, see that's plastic part right there, that'll crack, that'll mess up everything if you break that. I'm replacing 3 parts, the thermal fuse, the thermostat, and this heating coil. I think of the heating coil or the heating element was what was bad, probably just because it's old, but it's worth changing them all for 3. Like I said, all 3 of them are only $30 as opposed to buying a new $400 dryer or something like that. So you can show you how easy this is. So here's a new one right there. I'm gonna put it up. See, it's slides in just like that. And I'm gonna have to use my other hand to screw it in, but that's all it is, just slides right out. That's out. That's in, and the screw holes line up right there. So screws are back in right there, and you can tell how these go mostly because of the positioning. This one's up top, so it's obviously gonna go up top. This one is sideways. The orange one is sideways, it goes in the bottom. And this one, the very bottom, plugs into the heating element right there. So that's all plugged in. That's thermal fuse, that's heating element. This thing is all back together. I'm gonna put the back on and then start it up. Make sure it gets hot. Back on, just a grip of screws, but super easy. That's where your hose is gonna go reattach to. Just make sure you take the time to clean out like all the lint and stuff that's back here, because lint fires do happen. So what I'm gonna do is push this back in, plug it back in, and test it. Make sure everything works good, nothing catches on fire. That's probably important. And we'll go from there. I'll let you know. So I'm gonna show you how you can tell really fast if it's heating. It'll be real fast, you'll see it, and you'll know it's heating. Hold on one sec. Right there in the corner, see that flame looking thing? That's where your heating element comes out of right there, so that's blowing up all the hot air. So that thing's gonna be working really well now. So do our best to see if this stuff dries. It looks like a magnet up there. Kid must have had a magnet in his pocket. Probably what broke the whole thing. But anyway, if you can get as much lint out of here as possible, that's good. And actually doing that heating element and the fuse and the thermostat, seriously, if you're not filming, it only takes about 10 to 15 minutes longer to take the screws off than do anything. But super simple, so I suggest you try it on your own. And then, like I said, test it. Make sure nothing catches on fire and clean out as much lint as you possibly can, and you'll be good to go. Right on. Hope you liked the video.